What's up, world? Welcome to the Positive Truth, uplifting and positive news for a more progressive society. Tim, what are we trying to bring?
Here at the Positive Truth, we're trying to bring awareness, empowerment, inspiration, optimism, and understanding to communities everywhere.
I'm JP.
I'm Tim.
It's Tim. And this is the Positive Truth, bringing that positive news we know you're not hearing in your daily life, and we know you need to hear. Tim, how are you?
I'm doing amazing, sir. How are you?
Doing wonderful. If you're new to the Positive Truth, 2 days a week on Wednesday and Fridays, we do audio of 6 positive news stories on each day.
Facts.
And on Mondays, we do an audio visual, which is what today is, where you can see Tim's pretty face.
Cheese.
And we talk about an inspirational story. We interview somebody doing something positive in the community. Or we talk about our favorite positive news stories for the past month. And that's what we're about to do for February.
Nice.
But before we get to that, make sure to like, share, subscribe, rate, and review. Helps us out so much. Follow us on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, and YouTube, where we post our videos, Tim's pretty face, and positive news stories on our Facebook page at the Positive Truth Podcast. I just talked a lot. Tim, let's get to these stories.
Absolutely. So one of my favorite news stories for the month of February came from Oklahoma City. So it is actually a bunch of students from Edwards Elementary and Douglas High School. What they decided to do was go to fast food restaurants like Subway, McDonald's, Burger King, and they decided to give all the workers that are there flowers, chocolate, to let them know they're appreciated on days like Valentine's Day, when everybody's coming in and eating and celebrating with their loved ones. They decided to dress up in tuxedos, go to all these restaurants, and give the workers something because they believe they deserve it. I thought it was amazing because obviously on the Positive Truth we talk about the youth constantly, but we don't talk about them doing things like this, especially here in Oklahoma City where we're based, where we started. So yeah, man, I thought it was awesome, super inspiring, and it made me think, like, you know what, if kids thought like that more often, the world would be a better place for sure.
If everyone thought like that more often.
Facts.
That's awesome. So shout out to those kids, man.
For sure, man. What do you got for us?
One of my favorite ones is the story of Roberto Mendoza. He is the chef. He has cooked for Bill Clinton, Donald Trump, George W. Bush, and Barack Obama.
Oh, yes. Okay, I remember this story.
And he actually is a chef at a hotel in Beverly Hills. And he won the lottery.
Yes, sir.
Won 6 figures, 250 grand. And instead of him keeping it, he's like, I'm going to give back to the homeless. Gave it all the money away. I think it's absolutely awesome because of his story. Mendoza's life was ridiculous. He was living as a teen in El Salvador during the war of 1980s, and food was hard to come by. So when he was 14 or 15, he was always hungry. That's why he wanted to be a chef. Went all the way to Canada. From Canada, he went to California, where he learned English and Hebrew. He was already fluent in Spanish and French.
Man.
And then he was like, I just want to help others. So he became a chef, started his own restaurant, his own program called the Chef's Heaven's Kitchen, where he gives back, raises money and donations, gives back to kids in need that are basically hungry. I think it's awesome. And then when he won this, he was like, sometimes you just want to play the lottery. It's just fun.
Absolutely. Gotta be in it to win it.
It's just $2. You gotta put gas in the tank. So he won it. He was like, I gotta give back. And I just think it's awesome. His whole story, how he became a chef, all the things he's done. Shout out to Roberto.
Absolutely, man. For him to cook for all those presidents, that was impressive in itself, man. That's pretty awesome. And the fact that he's obviously donating that amount of money to people that need it, he's amazing. Definitely up for Positive Truth Person of the Year.
Absolutely.
You know who else is up for Positive Truth Person of the Year, though? Her name is Candace Payne. She's from Chicago. Do you remember this story at all so far?
Yeah, this is one lady where Chicago froze to death.
Exactly. You had all these people that were homeless on the streets whenever it was freezing. We're talking about in the negative teens at this point in time. So they had a bunch of petroleum tanks there to keep them warm. One blew up. Fire department came and picked them all up because they're like, it's not safe. She decided, you know what, I'm going to go down there. And she ended up paying for 20 hotel rooms. The coolest thing I love about this story, she bought these 20 hotel rooms and dipped. Got the 20 hotel rooms, got it for everybody that was on the street that was there, and left. They did an article, and it took them about 2 days for them to find out who she actually was, because she did it and did it for the right reasons. She wasn't doing it for attention at all whatsoever. She decided to go down there and get 20 hotel rooms, let everybody stay in there for a week, not a day, but a week, because the cold temperatures were going to last for a little bit. She ended up using her credit card, and she didn't ask for anything for it. And to me, that's as selfless as it gets. That's something that we talk about here on The Positive Truth. Whenever you do something positive and you don't ask for anything in return, and on top of that, you're doing it in secret, so you don't get that attention. It was just amazing to me. So yeah, man, that was one of my favorite stories for sure. I remember thinking like, yo, this is not real. 20 hotel rooms for a week? Like, who does this? Who goes into debt like this? But people with the right kind of hearts do. So shout out to you, Candace. You're amazing in the Positive Truth eyes.
Perfect, Tim.
Ooh, Savas, man. I'm working on things.
Speaking of working on things, one of my favorite positive news stories is sort of a follow-up, but it's about the Madhai. That's a little city in India, and they had 1.5 million volunteers plant 66 million trees in 12 hours. They have a goal of basically planting 1 billion trees over the course of 10 years. They're definitely going to get there.
I believe it for sure.
And you were just talking about people with good hearts giving back. This is a bunch of people, driven few, or 1.5 million people, all doing one positive thing that leads to a great thing.
Mm-hmm.
That many volunteers planting that many trees. Imagine if we all do something, make one person smile each day. That's how many billion smiles a day?
What, 7 billion people?
Yeah.
We're winning right now.
So that's all this is, just one positive act leading to that's the positive impact for years.
And honestly, man, planting a tree, the feeling of planting a tree is amazing. I'm not going to lie. Whenever I planted that peach tree in the backyard, man, I was like, I feel accomplished. It didn't take me very long. I was a little tired because it was hot, but at the exact same time, I remember feeling like, you know what? I did something good for the world.
Did you dig the hole too?
Yeah, heck yeah. I dug the hole, man. I was doing it big. Man, get up. Throwing it over my shoulder and everything. And that got in my hair was a bad idea. So I just made a little pile right next to the hole. Good times.
So I think it's awesome. And I actually have a new segment I think we should do.
Oh, yeah?
I think we should do the Positive Truth listeners' favorite, I guess, one of their favorite positive news stories from February.
Mm-hmm.
Because we always post these on our Facebook page at Facebook.com/Positive Truth Podcast.
There we go.
Yeah. And sometimes when we post these, I'm just like, this story won't get much traction.
And then everybody loves them.
And I can never predict it right. So a few months ago, it was the Smash Brothers one. I was just like, we shouldn't even talk about this on the episode, and then everyone loved it. And for this one, it was the rare black leopard. This month, it was the rare black leopard confirmed in Africa for the first time in 100 years. Got tons of love on our Facebook page.
It did, didn't it? I was looking at that today, actually. I was like, well, wow. Okay.
So basically what happened is there's an ultra rare black leopard that hasn't been seen in Africa. Very big country. Continent. I did this.
You did that on... Yeah, it's okay. It happens.
Edit that, JoJo. So basically, it hasn't been seen for 100 years. I like how Black Panther came out last February.
Right.
And now it's here.
Now we've seen a black leopard for sure. Man, that's dope.
So I just think it's awesome. It's what our listeners really loved on our Facebook page. Make sure to hit that like button, share, and we'll talk about you all's favorite one in March as well.
I like it, man. I like it. I see what you did there. Nice little surprise at the end.
Trying to include the listeners.
Absolutely, man. Absolutely.
And those are our favorite positive news stories of February 2019. We'll be back in March with our favorite ones in March. And then, April, May, June. Keep on going.
We ain't stopping. Positive news stories are coming at you 24/7. All right, I lied. 12 months a year.
And also, Wednesdays and Fridays on our audio. Tim, I know you got a quote.
I do, man. I have a few, but I'll shoot with one today. You can have and be whatever you want as soon as you give yourself permission. Don't know who that's by, but I like it.
So give yourself permission to be positive about yourself and about the world around you. We'll be back on Wednesday, so 2 days from now, with more positive news stories. Until then, we're out.
Stay positive.